Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with Chappelle. You're going to get a double feature of me and Chappelle today. But first, we're going to be talking about Survivor 50, episode 5, doing our bingo recap. First time here talking Survivor, Chappelle. What's going on? What do you think of the season? Give you all your mini hot takes.
I don't even know if there are any really hot takes out there because everyone's talking about this season of TV, which is good, right? Like I've been looking around and whether you like it or you hate it, Survivor 50 is giving us so much to talk about. We've had Jeff rapping, we've had like crazy blindsides, we've had Zach Brown, we've had like some drama outside of the game, so there's buzz here for this season, and I'm enjoying the ride. Right now, I am not upset with what I've been seeing.
I totally agree. I wasn't necessarily super excited by the cast, and it's still like they're okay. Like I would have liked to see more players from more seasons, like across like from the earlier seasons, and like less maybe from the new era. But I am like on a whole pretty much enjoying what's going on so far. Like I'm enjoying the season.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorites? Who's your standouts?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, you know where I am. I stand Cirie until the cows come home. There, I can't put no one above her. That is just not me. If people say I'm biased, yes, I am, absolutely. But Cirie aside, this season of television just reminded me how much of a star Christian Hubicki is as a TV character. Whether you like him or not, gameplay wise or whatever, that's fine. But as a TV character, he dominated the entire narrative of the first time he played. And this time he is the narrator of the season. The strategy goes through him. These relationships all bounce off of him. These advantages, he's involved in almost all of them. He's good in Confessional. He might not be your type of your archetype of like rootable character for you, but for me, this man is a star. There's no other way to put it. Yeah.
We knew that like Christian was a star from when we first saw him on this first season. Now, what do you think about the rumored narrative that the reason why he got Mike White out of the game and Angelina out of the game because he wanted to be the main narrator of the season, and Mike White would probably take some of that, screen time?
I don't know about that because Christian beat him the first time in screen time. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time they played, Mike White gets to the final 3, but Christian was the star of that season too. So I don't really think that has to be something that he would be driven to do. To me, Christian is more focused on being a player than a character. He just is a character by nature. There's just certain people, I think if you put the camera on them long enough, they will do something entertaining. And then there are some people who have to put on. I think that Chantele, you are a person that if I put the camera on you long enough, you will do something very riveting, right? You're just an interesting person. You have an interesting life, you have interesting interests, you have talents. There are so many things to mine from someone like you. I think Christian is the same exact way. He's very smart, he's very funny, he's very talented, he's quick, and I think that if you're looking to put the camera on somebody, going to Christian is always like it's foolproof, right? But not everybody has that. So I don't think Christian has to go out of his way to do that, to get screen time. But it definitely doesn't hurt. Once Mike White and Angelina are gone, it puts way more of a spotlight on Christian because those are his, assumed allies. Those are also his moves. He's able to claim those moves, at least from the Survivor standpoint. Now, people will say, that maybe the edit shows a little bit more to Christian, where it could have been showing some of the other people on his tribe, like Emily, doing certain things. But for this, like the outcome here is definitely playing in his favor.
Well, what do you also think about the kind of the narrative that's going on where the women in general seem to be under-edited, whether it's by confessionals or just even screen time? Like, what do you think about that?
There were definitely an episode of television where Cirie did not get a confessional. And that to me is just right. Right?
Why is she here? Why is she here? She's not talking about her game.
Right. Like, leave her alone. If you're not going, you should have left her at home if you weren't going to show her on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, give her $1 million, of course. But we did not show up here as fans to not see the all-stars on our screen. You have enough time to give them at least something. Each of them can have something. Whether it is just somebody commenting on the challenge, somebody commenting on Zach Brown, commenting on this, you have so much footage of these people, so much hours and hours and hours of tape of them doing almost nothing but these are our all-stars. even doing nothing, there's something to show. And so it's not okay that we barely seen Tiffany. It's not okay that we've barely seen Cirie. It's not okay that we've barely seen Chrissy. And it doesn't matter that they're not going to tribal council, because you can always show, you can choose to show these people. You're choosing to show things to play toward the characters that you want to highlight for whatever reason. But I do think there is space. And I would be, I mean, it's really hard to prove that, but I firmly believe that there is space to show these people, especially these women who so many people were excited to see come back. It's just, to me, yeah, it's a clear disparity. And if we don't talk about it, Survivor doesn't make any changes, right? Like
100%.
They kind of went back on their
thing, right? Where's that diversity initiative?
In the BIPOC initiative, they didn't even meet that criteria here, right? So like that's the other thing. They were saying, oh, it's an all-star season. That means you had 49 seasons to go across and pick enough people to make that initiative that you talked about to make it stand. And it seems like you've gone back on that too. So these are intentional choices, right? They're choosing to highlight the players that they want to choose to highlight, and they are hiding the players that they want to highlight. And this is by decision. I don't think it's a good decision, and I don't agree with it.
100%. Willie here is saying that Tiffany hasn't gotten a confessional. It's been so invisible. I think she's had one, maybe two confessionals this whole season. That is ridiculous, especially since we did see the one scene where she was talking with kind of spilling the Genevieve plan to Aubry. So she's gaming. She's doing stuff. She's having confessionals. She has an opinion on what's going on in the game. I want to hear then. How do you feel about Genevieve? How do you feel about I want to hear more about this then, if there's something that's going on that might pay dividends later. Like, this could be a storyline.
In Charlie's exit press, he said he always thought that the power structure on that tribe was like the center of power was Tiffany D and Aubry.
Camilla.
I think
Aubry.
or Camilla. Sorry, on that tribe, right? And so it's like, but we never saw that. We saw Aubry on the outs, Tiffany going to hang out with her, and then D was with the other alliance. But Charlie said from his point of view, it was the three of them that was kind of like a center. And then, like you said, Camilla was there as well, and that we saw that group kind of solidify as well. So yeah, how do you have that and then never show it, right? And or never show us Tiffany's point of view? Another kind of like obvious example of maybe the disparity in screen time between the women and the men is that just one episode ago, Mike White gets blindsided. We know he was friends with Angelina for 7 years. We know that him and Angelina went all the way to the end in their first original season. She was on his show, The White Lotus. He gets voted out, and we never get a confessional from Angelina about how she feels about her best friend getting voted out. Yeah, what is the point? Right, what is the point? How do you not go to the person who's most connected? Why did you put them both on if we did and then obviously separate them for obvious reasons, but then bring them back together to not address it, right? You just you spend a whole episode talking about it, and then we never get the reaction to it. But we hear Ozzy's point of view about it. We hear obviously Christian's point of view about it. But Angelina is just right there, and I'm sure she has so much to say about how Christian made her feel, how it feels to be missing Mike, how it feels to be without your best friend. We get nothing. So yeah, there's plenty of evidence to show that it's not quite giving people the balance that they are looking for in a season that has so many big names.
Hi, Mel. So Mel says we got 10 minutes of Ozzy versus Christian. Yeah, like, I mean, I don't mind seeing Ozzy versus Christian. Like, I like that little rivalry that was going on at the beginning of the episode 5. And like, that is interesting and entertaining, of course. But we have so many people that we want to hear from. Like, we hear that Angelina did a negotiation in one of the past episodes that like we heard nothing about it. Now, my thought is, it just came to me. I think that Survivor isn't happy with pregame alliances. And I think that if anything kind of maybe related to that, or like maybe seemed like that was going on, like in their confessionals or how they responded, maybe they cut that out. Because we did hear that in Charlie's exit press that like, oh, there was such and such, pregame alliance. And we were hearing that, oh, so-and-so pregame alliance. And so-and-so the Zoom alliance. And so I'm thinking that maybe they're trying to keep that under wraps.
It makes sense for them to keep pregame alliances under wraps because you want people to play the game that's in front of them. You
Yeah.
don't want people to say, I'm not coming back for Survivor 55 because I know these people have all been working together and it's not fair, right? Like, and they've been plotting behind the scenes for the last 4 years for this moment. Like nobody wants to see that. So I understand the inclination to not show it on screen, but at the same time, there are still other ways you can talk about this, right? There's not the and the Survivor has not shied away from addressing pregame alliances in the past. For Winners at War, we saw the entire poker alliance that I didn't even know existed because we saw Kim Spradlin and Boston Rob and Tyson. They all play poker together. They showed a clip from them playing poker on the screen. We saw Angelina and Mike White, their pregame alliance, highlighted by playing an actual clip from the HBO show The White Lotus. They played an HBO show on CBS, a clip from it in the middle of a CBS show, right? So you can address that these people have prior existing relationships without framing everything to look like, oh, these were all pre-existing alliances that work together all the time, or that were always going to work together. It's unrealistic to be like, all right, so since we don't like that, we're just never going to show it at the expense of all of these amazing characters that you brought back. The entire point of All-Star seasons, in my opinion, is the relationships that the people have and how they've changed or deteriorated since then, right? The reason why I love Heroes versus Villains is because it's a culmination of 19 seasons of these people knowing each other, right? And meeting each other. They have different arcs that they're on. The Jerry and Kobe arc happens over the course of 10 years, but it's 3 different seasons of play. The Amanda and Parvati story, 3 different seasons of play. All of these things add up to give us the product that we want. And so hiding the stuff makes it even worse.
Okay, I'm trying to find the silver lining as to why they're doing it, but like you make a good point. It's like there's no reason to have a returning season if you don't want them to be carrying their prior beefs or their niceties with each other into the next season, because we want to see how those dynamics play out in the game. Are they going to turn their back and like stab their friend of 15 years in the back for the game? Like, is that going to be a conversation we're having? So yeah, you do make a great point.
Yeah.
So Kathy here sent me the Survivor fact checker, and it's actually pretty abysmal if we're just looking at the confessional stats. So in total, after episode 5, Christian, we assume like he's gone to every tribal council. He's also a great narrator. He has the most confessionals. He has 35. Right beneath him is Ozzy. And then the next person is Emily and only has 19. Damn. And they have 35 and 34. That is a huge discrepancy between the screen time and the confessional time that they're giving between 2 men and 1 woman who have all been experiencing the same 5 tribal councils.
That's true. They've been in lockstep, essentially, not so much making the same moves, but they've been together the entire time. So what the hell do they have to say? I mean, I'll give Ozzy a little bit of a pass because he did have that ridiculous, like, that journey thing that him and Coach did. So that would give him a little bit of a bump. But Emily and Christian should be more comparable. They're in a similar position, and Emily's done some wild things that I would love to hear her talk about for sure. And so it is but again, this is Christian being a star and the show recognizing it and really leaning into it at the expense of other people. Like, I'm not going to take away that Christian should have less screen time, but you could give Emily more screen time, right? Like, look, I'm just, don't get me wrong. There's a finite amount of space for these people, but there are definitely ways that you can highlight people without necessarily giving them a confessional as well. You can show things through their point of view. You can show people, to me, this just feels like so lazy of them to just like be like, well, we got the people we like a lot. Let's just give you a lot of this. It's giving Survivor AU. That you could just go 3-4 episodes and not even know a person exists on the show because they were boring to the producers, right? And so this definitely feels like the producers have decided that here's what a good TV is, and we're gonna lean into that.
Well, Bella here is saying like we got a Coach Cramp, you got Coach's toe ring segment, we got him knighting people this episode. Like he's getting a lot of content, and why would you bring back Tiffany if you don't think that she's going to be able to provide you similar content to Coach here?
Yeah. Like, let's say Coach wins the entire season. You still don't need a shot of him and Charlie doing their toe ring that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, You could go to Tiffany about that, or ask Tiffany's opinion about that. She knows Charlie. Her and Charlie are friends. So maybe, we get a confessional about Tiffany finding out about the toe ring thing. Who knows? But I'm just saying, regardless of who wins the season, who's in second place or who's in third place, we've seen more balanced edits on Survivor, and this just isn't one of them.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining us here.
Alex had a good comment in the chat. Yeah, I saw that too.
Where this one, that does a good job addressing season-long relationships between the vets, absolutely, and because that's kind of the funnel that the challenge goes through. Is like there's usually going to be vets coming from season to season, whether there's some new players, rookies coming in, but there's always going to be vets that have long-term relationships, whether it's 20 years, whether it's a couple seasons ago. But yes, they definitely use that as part of the narrative because they recognize that it exists and they definitely highlight it as well.
Yep.
Just quick more thought about the confessionals. So the least amount of confessionals in the first 5 episodes is, as we predicted, Tiffany. Then next with 5, so she had 2. Next with 5 is Chrissy. 6 is Dee. So Dee doesn't even have that many more, which is wild as well. And then 8 goes to Jonathan. 9 Camilla. 11 for Stephanie and Colby. Joe, Aubry get 12. Cirie only has 13. So Cirie has 13, which is about half-ish.
Not enough.
Less than half, like
it's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, not enough at all. Now, do you think that these confessional stats, if we look at the meta of it all, do you think it has any sort of bearing on who's going to win? Are they trying to just like utilize the people that are not going to win that they think are more interesting early on? Like, do you think that there's any way to dictate or kind of dissect what we think is going to happen with, like, say, the final 3?
Well, as a Christian and Ozzy fan, I mean, it's great for me if this is, what's going on. If they're indicating that this is some way in the end game of just like, oh, they're going to win the season. One of them is going to win the season. I'm a fan of both of them, but I don't know. I also think that's really bad storytelling because why would you? I get that you have to highlight your winner, but the fun of Survivor to me is speculating who is going to win, right? To me, it's kind of like a mystery. You know that there is going to be a winner, and then you use the prior whatever many episodes to determine who is going to win, and we follow their moves. Chantele, we go and watch. We say, oh, is this going to work out for this person? Is this going? We like to speculate about it. But if you're giving all the confessionals to 1 or 2 people, then it's very obvious who you think is going to, like, who y'all are hyping up as a winner. In the past, it's not always been true. We've seen Russell Hantz completely dominate confessional counts for 2 seasons in a row, only to lose both times. So it's not that damning all the time. But I'd say this: the winner is shown more often than not in typical seasons of Survivor,
unless it's 41.
Right, exactly. That 41 Edge of Extinction was another one. Even then, he was shown a lot for somebody who wasn't in the game.
Even maybe 43. I didn't really see Gabler winning.
Yeah, but I think he still was on screen, and I think that's the issue, right? Is that if this person wins, we hope that you would show them on TV. And because how would you, like you said, in 41, have we not learned from the Erica thing where she leaves the season and everybody's like, I don't even know if Erica should have won. It's like, well, you'll never know because we didn't show what she was doing. Even if she was doing nothing, we didn't get her perspective of doing nothing, right? We just didn't even there was half of the time where we didn't even see her on the show. So all that to say is damning evidence against people who are, it probably is more disqualifying, I guess, for people that we have not seen, as opposed to, it's highlighting the people who will win. I would be very hard pressed to see Tiffany coming out with this right now. But Chantele, there are still 17 people left in this game. Okay. We just got to regular Survivor numbers. So they could turn up right now. They could.
Maybe. I don't know if I see that. But okay, let's talk about our little bingo game and see if we can talk about the rest of this episode with trying to place things as to, what's on this board. So have you seen any of this yet? This season?
I've seen glimpses of these things. Yes.
Sure. Well, since you're the guest, so where would you want to start? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, let's talk about the shot in the dark, because I feel like they forgot that they existed this season. And then all of a sudden in this episode, Ozzy made it his entire personality. He's like, Christian, give me your shot in the dark, or I won't be able to trust you. We see Christian pull out the biggest shot in the dark I've ever seen in my life. And
yeah, I thought they were
give it
the size of a regular die.
right. It's huge. And so he gives it to Ozzy almost like to win back Ozzy's trust. In this moment, I don't think Ozzy can use Christian's shot in the dark. I think that maybe there's a debate about whether or not he can
show that he cannot use it himself. And
right.
so like, yeah, like it's to show trust. They're trusting each other.
Right. So yeah, shot in the dark. Have you been able to mark off the shot in the dark on your bingo card in the past?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been left open. I'm thinking like, well, exit press wise, yes, they've been saying that, oh, like Savannah had said it was part of like the narrative and like they didn't show any of it. But I think this is the first time that the shot in the dark has been mentioned on the season. We didn't even know if it was going to be part of the season. And so yeah, now it is. I think the reason though also why Christian, well, I think he should have given it up right away. But like the fact that he like seemed to wait a while and then come back and be like, actually, I decided I'm going to give it to you. I think that that's kind of sketchy. But also the shot in the dark doesn't really mean anything. Like 17% likelihood of me wasting my vote to use it is very unlikely. So yeah, I'd probably give it up, but I'd give it up right away.
Right
away. What else we can talk about are the flashbacks. We got a flashback today. We saw Cochran. He was deceiving. What was that happened? He was like Cochran stabbing. Who did he stab in the back?
Ozzy in the back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ozzy in the back. And Ozzy was super upset about this, obviously. And it's reminding Ozzy of all of his past wounds and being stabbed in the back now by Christian. And what I found really interesting is that Kristen could not understand why Ozzy was being a little sucky baby pants about this or whatever he said. But he was acting really upset by Mike White kind of reminding him of his time when he was stabbed in the back. So I don't know. I just thought that it was interesting that Christian couldn't see why Ozzy might be offended or upset by some past wounds.
Right. It felt like Christian was like, I hear you, but get over it. He said like, I get being mad, but yeah, like, come on, man, it's time to move on. And I personally think Ozzy should have flipped. I don't think he should still be working with Christian. Because he just completely left you out of this vote. Obviously he should have, because Ozzy tells us in Confessional, I'd have blown it up had you not. But that just means y'all can't work together anymore. Ozzy moving forward with Christian gets him through this round, sure. But I don't know what that means for him long term. Maybe it does. Maybe it works out long term. Him and Christian are able to come back together, Emily flipping and all that kind of stuff. But this would be a deal breaker for me. If you burn me like this, yeah, you don't have to worry about me anymore. I would probably play nice, but the first chance I got, I would be voting you out.
Yeah, I would have voted Christian out. As much as I love Christian, if he did that to me, there would just be no way that I'd be able to get over it.
Exactly.
I mean, like, you had time to tell me. Yeah. And if you felt that you couldn't tell me, that's a problem. So
that's a problem. Right. Gotta go. And maybe I would have blown it up. Maybe I would have, but we'll never know because you didn't know. You never told me,
I mean, he did say he would blow it up.
Yeah, exactly. But you never told me. That's a risk that you were supposed to take, by telling me. And then if I blew it up from there, you have to deal with me. But at least it's on our terms and it's not you just blindsided me. It's not on my neck. That's a us decision. You made a you decision at my expense.
So we could also maybe cross off names here. So he was called a dickhead. Something
Prissy Pants.
Chrissy Pants. Was it?
Prissy Pants. Polly Prissy Pants.
Polly Prissy Pants. Also, Coach was knighting people, so giving some people some names. How'd you feel about these names? What were they? The Tide Walker. Yeah. Okay. Tide Walker.
Yeah.
Chantele, I love obstacles.
These. I love these. I think that when you're playing around and you're being goofy, I listen, lean into the bit. Coach wants to knight me. I'm happily taking that. Okay. I don't know. To me, it's such a Survivor moment, right? We've seen Coach has been doing this since Survivor 18. And so if he wants to show up at 50 and pull out his greatest hits and start naming people, sign me up.
Wait, so okay, then so Joe is the Tide Walker.
No, Coach is the Tide Walker.
Okay, sorry. And Joe is the Warrior Monk? Stone Bell? Is that what I don't even know what my notes are. I'm like, it makes sense of this.
I think he's the Stone Bell Monk.
Okay.
And then
Warrior
Kobe
Monk,
is the no, he is the
Oakbound
Stone
Warrior.
Bell Monk, and then Kobe is the Oakbound Warrior. Yes.
Right. Okay. So now they both have been knighted. Because Coach and he loves the social game this season, and so this is why he feels the need to be naming people. So you love this?
I love this.
What would you want your name to be?
Oh my God, the Stoned Oak Warrior.
Yeah, but out of all of them, I think I would want to be. No, I'm not. No, I like the Oakbound Warrior because, like, I think the oak tree I find to be actually a pretty magnificent tree. When I see the acorn, the fact that all the possibility of an oak tree lives inside of an acorn, I think is really kind of cool. So actually, maybe it's like an acorn-bound warrior is what I am because there's so much potential that lives within me that is waiting to be expressed.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Mel Hooker asked in chat, why don't the girls get names? I don't think I know that
girls can't be warriors, probably, according to Coach.
I'm thinking back and trying to think of if he gave any of the women names in the past, and I can't actually maybe Dawn maybe had a name. I don't think so. I can't think of one. I can't think of a time he's given a woman a name. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember personally,
not great.
But
yeah,
not great. Seems a little sexist, but still fun, we'll say. Any other names this episode? Any misspelling of names on any of the parchments?
I can't think of any. Nah. I mean, Angelina's pretty straightforward, but we've seen it messed up for worse, people. So I don't know, for easier names, I guess I should say. So no, not so much.
I guess that was kind of a coachism as well.
I think it double square. Yeah.
Is there any other coachism this episode? Any other? I mean, I guess that whole segment was a coachism. With him knighting and him talking about him being the Tide Walker, all that jazz.
He's leaving the Dragon Slayer in the past. Yeah, he's like,
I like the Dragon Slayer.
No. He's evolved to the Tide Walker. The Dragon Slayer moves through obstacles. The Tide Walker navigates
around.
Yeah, it's like water.
Okay, where do you want to go next?
Oh my God. When you say spiral, what do you mean?
Sometimes when someone knows that they're on the chopping block, they kind of freak out and maybe they overplay or they do too much or they spill things or, so I would say that a spiral moment was when Emily got that information from Christian in that episode, and she got it so late, and that she started spiraling, and she went and told Ozzy and Stephanie about like all the information, and you know what I mean? She was just kind of freaking out for no reason.
Okay, so I think the closest thing I saw in this episode was Charlie waking up Rizzo out of that boat. Be like, hey, who do we say that we were telling the Billie Eilish thing to? Because Charlie's very clearly targeting Rizzo, and it's crazy too. Because had Charlie slow played this, right, then him and Rizzo wouldn't have any issue. Rizzo was not naturally targeting Charlie. He found out Charlie was coming for him, and he got the upper hand. But Charlie telegraphed this so much that Rizzo saw it coming and was able to amass the troops against him. So I think this is a Charlie spiral.
Definitely, I could see that as a Charlie spiral, especially like waking him up like crazily at the crack of dawn, like being like, "Sorry, what's happening?" He probably couldn't sleep because he was spiraling and trying to like figure out what was going on and like try to get Rizzo first. I definitely think this whole season, as soon as he heard about the Rizzo portion being like, oh, he didn't vote for his final two, that was a slow spiral that kind of ended up with him going out this episode. So I agree. That was a bit of a spiral. I don't think there's any other spirals though this episode.
No, not really. I think Angelina held it together pretty good. I mean, we could call Ozzy's whole little meltdown a spiral if you want.
But he kind of came through. He meditated.
He
You
did.
know,
Oscar's here.
he saw the light, and he realized that he didn't want to be that old guy that would be bitter. And I'm like, I want to see the bitter guy. Bring
No, I'm
back the bitter
happy.
guy. I
No,
want
I'm
Ozzy.
happy. I'm
You,
happy.
you said
I like.
you would have voted out Christian. You
Yeah,
wanted
I would
that.
have.
Yeah.
I would have. I would have. I definitely wouldn't have worked with Christian, but it's just like it's very salty, right? And don't get me wrong, you have every right to be salty, but it's also a game that you have to not get voted out for. You have to let people believe that you're not salty, right? So be salty to us in confessional, but be poised and put together in person. Now it's better TV. The way we saw today, right?
That's
With
what
Ozzy,
I'm saying.
right,
We want the
right.
old Ozzy. That's why he's back here.
But I like Ozzy as a player, and I would love to see him do well, and so I'm torn.
Now, I do think, though, one thing that he might have been thinking about is the fact that he would have been going against his original tribe, and that might not look good for Cirie. So he knows that Cirie has good relationship with Christian, with Emily, with Devens, and so I think that he's also probably trying to keep that together. But he does say, "I won't forget." So I'm sure he'll bring this information to Cirie, like, "Hey, he blindsided me, but like I kept him in the game to keep us all intact. But just so you know, he can be kind of sketch."
Yeah, for sure. It'd have been risky, but I still would have did it.
I would have taken out Christian. I'm sorry, Christian. Yeah. I would have been
sorry. Love
bitter.
You. Too bitter. It would have been me. It would have been Tom. Well, also that's not even just bitter. It's like I don't think it's not strategic either to vote out Christian at this point, right? Like he's already burned you. You clearly can't. I mean, Emily tried to alert you to what was going on, but she didn't tell you either. What loyalty do you have to these people if they're just gonna lie to you in the game? So I'm kind of like whatever. Call it bitter or whatever, but I see the strategy in it too.
Okay, I'm gonna put out an idol. I didn't know that Stephanie knew about the idol, and that it was like kind of common knowledge, and so that was interesting to find out that that information had been shared more often. And then also, just the Billie Eilish idol in general. We see Rizzo going around. He tells Dee about it. He tells Cirie about it. He tells pretty much everybody about this idol. I wasn't sure if this is a good play on Rizzo's part, but what did you think about this idol spilling?
Cirie loved this, and she didn't say it in a way that she was just like, "Oh yeah, and now I get to vote." Riz got out. She proposed to him basically. He's working with Cirie. How can I not stand? Also, Charlie trying to use his idol for his advantage was interesting too, right? Because now Charlie's going around being like, "Hey, I know you haven't heard this, but Riz got an idol," and they're like, "Yeah, we know. He already told us. Thanks, Charlie." So yeah, very, very tough moment for Charlie, but I thought this was good on Riz God to wield his idol. I mean, he just did this 9 days ago. We just saw this. This is Riz God kind of at his best, is with an idol and with allies who will ride for him. And so he's putting himself in a pretty good position for somebody who just played Survivor and no one has seen him ever play before.
I can debate this, but I was thinking about putting one on leader because it seemed like what's his name? Jonathan thought that he was the leader of this tribe. He was like, "Oh, we're good." Like he kind of seemed like he had everything going, even though he didn't. But I think he felt like he was the leader of this tribe, and he was kind of rudely awakened. Do you think that warrants a torch?
I agree, but I want you to tell me who is the leader of this tribe.
Is it Rizzo?
My body wants me to give it to Dee.
Okay.
But this episode very much felt like Rizzo was the glue. It really did feel like he was holding it together. But I don't know. I just feel like Dee is in charge.
I mean, okay, yeah, I can see Dee being in charge because we saw a couple episodes ago Jonathan talking to Dee being like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get out Cirie." And now I'm wondering if she was just like appeasing him by being like, "Oh yeah, we should." And like I was thinking it like, "Oh my god, Dee's gonna try to get her out," and like, but like no, maybe she was just appeasing Jonathan and is actually working with Cirie, which I'm like, thank goodness, because I don't like if you guys start aiming at each other, I'm gonna have to side with Cirie. I think that I think that you would be Gandhi. But I could see her being kind of the silent assassin glue.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that Camilla the reason why Camilla voted the way she voted, because she was more concerned about her relationship with Dee, I believe, than with Jonathan. So
yeah. Charlie comes to Dee to make this move, and Dee's like, Charlie, you're so dumb. It's I think it's Dee, man. And what do you think about Dee, though? You've now seen Dee play Survivor 1.5 times, and you've seen Dee play the challenge. To me, Dee is an elite character for TV.
Okay, on the challenge, I didn't think that she played that well, but I think it's because she's kind of getting used to the format and what to be good at. Because like you still have to be good at like challenges and gain power. The format of that season didn't help her stay strategic. If she'd stayed with Johnny Bananas the whole season, we might have seen her play a little bit different, or like even just stay with the same partner for the whole season. We might have seen her strategy come out, but like because she was bouncing around, she wasn't able to, in my opinion, excel. And I haven't seen enough of her yet. We know that she put it together, but like how Mel is saying that we didn't see how she put together this alliance of 4. It hasn't been fully repeated for me yet. Yes, she had a great original season. I know that she's a great player. I haven't fully seen it yet, but I still believe in her, if that makes sense.
To me, Dee is the perfect combination of a good player and an entertaining character. Because on the one hand, we've seen Dee play a good game of Survivor, right? We've seen her be one of the more impressive winners in recent years. It's undisputable, right? Dee cooked that season up, no notes. But Dee also got into a showman's, which we know the people love, right? She got into a showman's that season, and she pulled the wool over her showman's eyes. Anytime a woman is able to do that in reality TV, it's always fun, right? It's always entertaining when that happens. And she was able to.
And we wanted that to happen with Bananas as well, but then they separated the partners.
Right. And then even then, boom, fast forward to the challenge. Dee's good at the challenge, right? She's doing well in the challenges. She was good in that elimination. They didn't lose because of Dee. And she still brought us drama because she gets into basically a love triangle with that guy. God. That guy Will is like having a meltdown. You want to talk about a spiral? Dee packed that man up so good, and they made out like one time. And next thing you know, he's in a bus like punching the back of the head, the little headrest, while Dee is just up there gallivanting with Johnny Bananas, like, the most infamous. Yeah, and she's with the most infamous like challenge competitor of all time, bar none. And she's now cozied up to him, and now here she is, the only remaining winner from these pre-Survivor 50 seasons. Kyle, Savannah, they're gone, and Dee is the last one who remains, and she's now made the merge. What does Dee do poorly?
So far, nothing.
Right.
We'll soon find out, like, if she's able to swim with like such a big tribe. But I don't know how this 17-person thing's gonna pan out. What are your thoughts? I guess we can look at, is that a twist? But it's coming next episode, but we can talk about it.
I think they can unmerge them. I think they can merge them,
make them into two things, and then have someone on like Exile.
No, I literally think they could just merge them for like this vote or two, and then they could go like, all right, and now we're down to 15, 3 trials of 5. Like I think they can do that because they have the room. They have so much room. At this point, this is 17 people. At this point in a normal Survivor season, we've only voted out one person. And so 17 people, you have so many times. Like they could basically start the game fresh, by just like voting out 1 or 2 more people and just making this
it's one world now.
Right. They could one world this thing. They could split the tribe in half and just be like, all right, y'all were merged, and now we're back to 2 tribes. Here are your new tribes. Let's start over and just basically start the Survivor season from the midway point. I'm
kind of worried. Did I talk to you about this before? That with Mr. Beast, because he loves just like mass eliminations, 10 people gone out of here. Do you think that this could be his episode, and it's like a safety chain type thing where like a bunch of people just get dropped at the bottom? Because we see them taking off and running into the woods. Like I'm wondering like what they're finding, right?
If they do a mass elimination, then this is over, right? Like Survivor, the season murders itself. Like I just don't think the shows can withstand something that crazy. Because think about it. What if it is Christian and Ozzy and Cirie.
Well, I'm wondering if that's why, or the people that are getting all these confessionals are like, oh, they're gonna
Right.
go out in this like awful way. Let them shine right now.
Right. That's crazy. That would be an insane thing to do because people have now been invested in those stories. You cannot make us watch a story about them and then just scratch them off from the screen all of a sudden and be like, all right, start new. Because now all the people who are invested in those storylines are like, what the hell? What the hell? What did we spend all that time doing? You know, if it's just giving them their flowers, fine. But I think this would be such a misstep. Like edge of extinction's level of misstep, you know, where you bring in somebody who was not even a factor in any of the pre in-game stuff and just make them the new, you know, big bad on the table. Like people still don't like edge of extinction, and I don't think they will. I think that there are some things that you just shouldn't do, and I think a big mass exodus from the game for some of these big names that the fans have been clamoring to see would just be such a misstep.
You know, it might happen.
I'm not saying it won't happen. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one because I know how Mr. Beast operates, right? He's like, jump down now and eliminate all 5 of those people behind you and you get immunity. You know?
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the reasons what I don't like about his show is that, like, I don't care about this, like crazy, like, I like people to be able to strategize to keep in the game. I hate chance and 50-50 and, oh, the whole row's gone and, like, you have no shot and, like, I hate it. It's kind of like why one of the reasons why I don't love Squid Game is because of that. It's like, I hate, like, oh, the whole room's done. Okay, great.
Right.
Okay, so I'm putting it on injury for Devens farting. Like, I don't know. Is this a problem with his body? Like, I don't know. Like, why are we highlighting his gas?
I don't know. There's nothing. So you telling me Chrissy wasn't doing nothing more entertaining than this?
Exactly. Was that funny? Did we get laughter out of it?
I don't know. I might have laughed in the moment. I don't know. It was so innocuous. That's kind of like, why did y'all put it in? There were so many other things you could put in.
Do you think it's gonna have anything further down the road to like we're gonna come back to this moment?
I don't know. Like, you know, Devens is also a star. We saw him basically be the star of his first season that he played too. So I get it. I get the inclination again to highlight the people who are going to give you something. But again, I just don't agree that you're not getting.
Is not really what I was thinking.
That's what I said. I don't agree that you're not getting nothing from everybody else, right? Like I just think that you're not right. Like just work a little bit harder, and I think you can make a lot out of whatever they're giving you.
Was there anything else funny?
No, maybe. Right? I mean, Christian calling Ozzy Prissy Pants was actually very funny.
Such a baby.
Probably Prissy Pants. That is very funny. I mean, you could
put this on. Almost funny was Angelina giving her jacket when she left.
Put it on cringe. 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 Thank you. Put it on cringe. Put it on cringe. Put it on cringe. Chantele, put it on cringe. It's on cringe. Put it on cringe. Put it on cringe until I die. Put it on cringe.
You didn't like that?
I was so embarrassed. And I was embarrassed not because Angelina did the jacket thing. It's because now Angelina has been reduced to just the jacket lady.
Yeah.
It's so boring. It's so boring. And they didn't show her otherwise. So it almost looked like she knew she wasn't getting any screen time. And so her last ditch attempt to make herself see, like for her to have something was to be like, and I brought a jacket. Like, yay. It's just like, it falls on deaf ears because they don't give her any screen time, right? Had they been building Angelina up as something like, oh, what could Angelina do next? And then she did this. It's like, oh, that's a cool character moment. But because it's basically all we saw from her, cringe, put it on cringe. Put it on cringe.
So cringy.
Put it on cringe. It's so cringy. Didn't like it.
Was there anything else equally cringy this episode?
Hated it. Charlie's voting confessional where he's just like, and Rizzo. Yes.
Oh my God.
And again,
so bad.
And it's not Charlie's fault that's cringe. Though it's honestly just this horrible circumstance that Charlie doesn't know that Rizzo is lying. He did vote for his number one ally.
No, he doesn't know that. And like I was worried because like also Rizzo, his confessional was pretty cringe as well, being like, "Oh, we got bad blood," and he's like just naming all these Taylor
The
Swift
Taylor Swift
references.
songs.
And I was
I know
like,
you love Taylor
I'm like,
Swift.
Rizzo, you better be getting your way here, because like I will die of embarrassment if it's not going your way. Like it would have been really, that would have been even worse than Charlie's, I think.
Yeah.
But then I was like thinking about like, oh, but the editors love Rizzo. Like the producers love Rizzo. They brought him back for these moments. There's no way that they're going to embarrass him if he was going to be going out this way. So I was like, yeah, I knew he was staying. But what were you going to say?
No, I don't know. I thought it would be equally funny. The bit is funny if Charlie goes because he's obviously targeting Rizzo for the complete wrong reasons. Or the bit is funny if Rizzo goes because the Taylor Swift thing was so over the top that it was kind of like, all right, you didn't have to do that. And so the fall would have been funny to watch. But I agree, and I'm very impressed with Rizzo. Two seasons back to back, he's doing some very interesting things in the game.
Absolutely. It wasn't a live tribal, right? They didn't do any little chit chats. No. Any good strategy you want to talk about?
I mean, Rizzo again, managing to flip this vote against Charlie, who was coming for him. I would say that was pretty good strategy. I have nothing to say about the strategy on the other tribe. Like, yes, Christian should be voting out Angelina at that point, but I don't think that, like, I don't think he should be in this position in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that he should have voted out Mike, to be honest. Like, I really thought that he needed to stay maybe together with his other two, David versus Goliath, tribe friends, whatever, because it's a bit of a shield in front of him. I know that he was probably scared about the fact that people were going to be looking at him and being like, oh, maybe he's the one of the three to break them up. Sure. But like, I think that he kind of needs somebody to maybe push a little bit later on. I feel like he left himself a little bit open, personally.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so definitely a blindside. Charlie got blindsided. Devens blindsided.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jonathan blindsided.
Jonathan. Yeah. The women have complete control over that tribe as long as like they got Rizzo and they ran circles around in this round.
Which is
now
crazy.
Cirie did not tell Devens.
Or do you think that she told him, but didn't he said like, don't just vote your way just so you still keep the numbers over there?
I don't know why she wouldn't tell Devens. I don't know.
Not telling Devens isn't great.
Not great.
But maybe she could tell that Devens was more with Jonathan than he was with her, and like maybe she felt that he was willing to throw her on the bus.
Maybe, but we didn't see it. It's almost like we should have gotten another Cirie confessional. Who knows?
I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah,
because it would be interesting to understand why he wasn't we don't know anything about how they feel about each other on this tribe.
Yeah, Devens and Cirie were together in the first. They've been together the whole time. So why would we not know how their relationship has deteriorated or gotten stronger when they get here, right? We see him left out the vote, but I don't know why Cirie wouldn't have told Devens. I mean, they were together at first. They were original. I mean, it was Devens and Christian and Emily and Cirie and Ozzy. All these people we've been talking about. But for Devens to be left out of the vote and Cirie not, it's very odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was there any blatant lies? I mean, obviously being left out of the vote is kind of a lie. Was there any blatant lies that were happening?
I mean, just like you said, the obvious, we're leaving people out of the vote, so we're making stuff up. I think Charlie actually was very truthful about telling all of Rizzo's business, which was very funny to me. But yeah, just typical lies, nothing crazy.
Any new bonding? Oh yeah, we did see some actually.
Cirie proposed to Riz God. There's a new Fields. Izzy Fields and now Rizzy Fields is here. We love this.
Riz God Fields.
Welcome to my family, the Fieldses.
Now, do you think that if you're looking objectively, I know that Cirie can do no wrong, but if you're looking objectively, do you think that her sharing the fact that she was gifted the advantage from Ozzy, sharing that with Rizzo, do you think that this will hurt her or help her?
I can't remove my bias because I think it would help her in all seriousness, I was yelling when it happened. I was like internally, I was like, Cirie, no, don't do that. Don't tell him. Just I don't want anybody to know Cirie's secrets, and I want Cirie to know everybody's secrets. And so I hope this doesn't bite her. But if it was me, I would not have shared that information. I don't think.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you don't necessarily want people to have information and to know that Ozzy gave it to you. So it like shows that you and Ozzy are close, you know, even though like people can assume that you are, but like them knowing for sure. Is that the only kind of alliance that has happened? So we got like a new structure with people that voted together in that Charlie vote out. So we have Rizzo, Dee, Cirie, and Camilla, seemingly now a little faction, a little voting block. Any other alliance that have been cemented?
Oh, Aubry and Coach have bonded.
Okay, yeah, he was open to that.
She goes to him. She's like, "Hey, Coach, add me in." And he goes, "I could use a little extra +1, And so Aubry and Coach kind of coming together. She's trying to push Genevieve out of her spot.
I mean, maybe. I don't think so. Just because I think Coach was realizing there was a bit of a desperate attempt from Aubry, and I think that because Genevieve is in with Colby, I think that he's automatically going to side with Genevieve first. But it's still a good move for her to like try to make some friends.
Are there bigger fish to fry now that we're merging at 17? Like, what would Coach be able to kind of be a shield for for Aubry right now, so that they can go after other people instead? I mean, Genevieve doesn't love Aubry, but I'm sure they could come to a compromise on maybe a bigger target.
Who's could be the bigger target?
I don't know. I just think that if I'm Coach, I'm not willing to give up my extra piece that easily.
No. That's okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like you're saying that you're not going to allow her to be the target so
right.
soon.
Not so soon, right?
Because if he's working more closely with Genevieve. Gotcha.
There's 17 people out here, right? So it's like, okay, why not Rizgot?
He's probably going to be coming for Ozzy still, right?
For sure. Mm-hmm. Coming for Ozzy. And yeah, I would love to, I haven't sat down and thought about what the alliance, what the like tribe split is now, that as far as like the alliance structure is for people. But you have to believe it's like Team Coach versus Team Ozzy. It's like it's almost like Ozzy and the Nerds, and then because like Ozzy and Christian and Coach and like Emily, and then Coach and the honor and integrity people, and then there's probably a couple people in the middle that could kind of oscillate from side to side. And I just haven't figured out who all the people are.
I know it's going to be, it's a 2-hour episode, so it's going to be interesting. We're actually going to be all together watching this episode, which will be pretty fun, because just in case you guys are wanting to do something, we will be in Atlanta for the Ron Clark event. So we will be talking about this 2-hour humongous merge in Atlanta. My first time in Atlanta. Are you excited, Chappelle?
I'm so excited. Wait, this is your first time in Atlanta, period?
Period. And I don't think I've ever had soul food. I might have had grits once.
Oh, Chantele.
Are you taking me
so
out?
much to do. Yeah, we got so much to do. Let's do it. Yeah. We're going to go get some wings. I'm so excited.
Hey, I mean, take me to everything. Barbecue, soul food. I want it all.
As long as we don't have to podcast on that day. Mari. Give it up, delicious.
So, did anybody cry this episode?
I don't remember.
No tears. I don't remember any tears.
I don't remember.
No negotiations. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Do we even have a reward challenge?
I don't recall.
That they showed? No, I don't think they showed anything.
Maybe.
It was I really don't like, we should know this.
Yeah, we should know, right? This. I don't remember this. I don't remember a reward. If so, I don't remember it.
Yep. There was no new twists, obviously, for next episode, but not this one. Anybody being shady?
Oh yeah, Dee calling Charlie the dumbest player on the island is funny. What? Yeah, shade. Christian,
he was offended by that. He's like, I thought I was working well with her. Like,
right.
That I was like, that was ouch.
Yeah. Oh, we do have a lie. I remember a lie. Rizzo telling Camilla, hey, Kyle would have loved for us to work together. He said, we're like, oh yeah, she'll take care of you. I don't think, like, I know the show wants us to believe that Camilla saw right through this, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I feel like that was a Frankenbite.
Oh, maybe. I don't. I don't
need to see
remember
her
now. I'd
mouth
have to
say
go
it.
look back. I'd have to go look back to see if her mouth actually said that. Oh, but a
Yeah.
Frankenbite, it's amazing. I didn't see the full either TikTok or reel, but there is one of Kyle watching that scene of him, like, whatever, saying whatever Rizzo said to Camilla. I don't remember the outcome was. I didn't watch the whole thing, I don't think, but
Yeah.
it's a lie. It was
a lot. I think it's a Frankenbite because, like, what Camilla's basically saying, Kyle was only there for a minute. There's no way y'all formed that kind of bond. But then when you watch the episodes back, Chantele, you would think Kyle was there for 3 years because everyone's crying, falling like, it's my number one ally. Genevieve's whole game is tied to Kyle. He's everybody's favorite person. Like, maybe Camilla just doesn't see that Kyle has that glow about him, but it didn't take long for him at all to integrate with those people.
No, he definitely made it. And like, I get it that, okay, fine, you don't think Kyle plays that way, really, and, like, you don't really see him doing that, but, like, you didn't really see him play this season, so, yeah, I agree with you that, like, there's no way for her to know definitively that, like, he could not have said that, but if she clocked it, though, it's pretty good. I wonder if they're showing her that she clocked it, that's good for her game, I think. They want to show her that she's, like, a mastermind, right?
Camilla has never seen Kyle play Survivor because they played Survivor together. So she's never seen the television product, right? Like this, they go out there before it airs, basically, or right as it airs, right? Like it airs and they go out there immediately after, right? So people have seen them play the game, but they haven't really like decompressed after that, right? So like we never see the Rizzo, they don't see the Rizzo game at all. They see their games, but it's like she wasn't there in those moments with Kyle. That when they weren't together, right? They get split up at one point. Because of the alliance structure, not so much of the game. So there are definitely moments where it's just Kyle and Joe, it's just Kyle and David, it's Kyle, so there are parts of Kyle's game that she does not know intimately. She's seen the show, but she does not know everything about him
because she's not there. Exactly.
Right. And then when you go watch 50, like if Genevieve gets to emerge and tells Camilla, Kyle would have wanted us to work together, she's not lying. Based on what we saw, Genevieve and Kyle were locked in,
they were very close.
I don't know how Camilla can just be like, nah, that ain't it. Now, she could be right, but I just felt like it was a little too cute that she was able to suss out the Riz guy lie when everybody else is fangirling over Kyle.
So there was no real twists. Anybody overplaying?
I don't say overplaying.
I guess Charlie kind of overplayed himself out of the game.
Okay, well, if Charlie wasn't going to vote out Riz guy, who was he going to vote out?
No, not that overplaying in that way, but like with him, like talking about the fact that coach came. Was it coach? No, Jonathan came up to him and told him about the idol or something. There's some cute little lie that he was telling or whatever. Like I thought that could be overplaying because he's saying it to Riz God, who's seemingly sussed out that there's a mistruth there of some sort.
But it doesn't change my question. Who should Charlie have been targeting?
D.
D.
Probably, because D was the one that kind of wrangled that vote, right? From what we
I just don't know if Charlie had a place to go. Right?
Yeah, because he thought he was working with D. He thought he was working with Camilla. Right. I think he said that Devens was who he wanted to go for in his exit press. But like I don't think that Jonathan would have allowed that to happen. But he didn't like the fact that Jonathan so quickly connected with Devens. And so that's somebody that he could have maybe got the numbers to vote out.
It feels like he was like on the outs, just based off what you're saying, right? Like where he should have come in in a built-in alliance with Camilla and D. They all worked together before, they all were in an alliance together. I think in Jonathan, right? They were all on the same tribe together, right? And so like that should be the alliance, and then the people on the out should be Cirie, Devens, and Rizgod. But for somehow, Rizgod has managed to push him out. D, it's kind of pushed him out as well. Cirie and Devens have worked their way in, but Cirie has gotten one level further in because she's not only got to Jonathan, who thinks he is the power structure, but she's gotten to D and Rizgod, who are actually the power structure, right? And so I don't know if he was overplaying because it looks like he had to do something. If people weren't willing to go for Devens, maybe he should have been targeting Cirie.
Oh, I think that would have been bad.
I think you could have got
It would've been
Jonathan on
worse.
board. I think you probably could have got, I mean, depending on what day you ask D, maybe D on board. I don't know. Cirie seems like she had gotten her hooks into. I don't know what Camilla's stamp on Cirie is because we never got a confessional
I think
for Camilla
they
asking
all
her that.
would rather keep women in the game. To be honest.
And I think that's very smart. So I kind of think Charlie was in a really tough spot.
Well, he thought he was in a better spot than he actually was, for sure.
Yeah.
So there was no real scrambling votes. That didn't really happen. But the last thing that we get to talk about are impressions. How'd you feel about your guy, Jeff Probst, doing a Colby impersonation, doing a coach impersonation, doing a Christian impersonation? Which one was the best?
He did a Jonathan impersonation, not a coach impersonation.
They're the same person to me. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think his Jonathan impersonation just sounded like Colby. And
right.
then
they called that out, and he's like, "Oh, I could actually do a Colby."
Yeah, but I think it's Colby. I think his Jonathan and his Colby are the same. But I will give him credit for his Christian impersonation.
Like
he's like, Jeff. So what you don't understand, like Jeff, because Christian
did not look happy.
No, I don't think anybody likes an impersonation being done or impression done on about themselves.
Maybe not live. Maybe if you watch it on TV and be like, okay, I can see that. That looks like me.
I told Puya to do an impersonation of me one time, and he said, "Go to hell," and I died because that's actually it's spot on, you know.
Pretty good.
It was just crazy that was his initial, it was his reflex. I said, "Do an impersonation of me." He goes, "Go to hell." I was like, "All right, fair." So yeah, I guess when it's done correctly, you have to appreciate it, but I don't know. I won't be too hard on Jeff about this. You didn't like it?
It was cringe. I'm gonna put cringe for that one. Also, I definitely wonder if he was been practicing those. Like he has all this material. He's been rapping, snapping, impersonating. Like, what else do you think that Jeff has up his sleeve? He's really
I don't know,
feeling himself. You know?
I don't know. Maybe he's gonna do one of the Mr. Beast challenges. You know? Because I think the preview for the next episode said something like Survivor is just something you've never seen before or something like that. I'm like, what is he gonna do?
It sounds like a mass exodus.
Do you think it's Mr. Beast on the next episode? I feel like they would have showed it in the preview.
The reason why I think it's Mr. Beast's next episode is because there's so many players all on one beach. I'm just it just worries me, having so many players and I don't know. I just feel as though they're gonna do some weird mass exodus and maybe somebody wins that 50-50 coin to double, not 50-50, but to double the prize pot coin.
Okay.
I think that's coming into play too.
Okay.
Okie dokie. That's it, I think, for this episode. Actually, the last thing, other than Cirie and Christian, who are your winner picks?
I don't know if Ozzy can win the game. But I like him, so I'm gonna root for Ozzy. Cirie's number 1, Christian's number 2, Ozzy's number 3. I think I want to root for Tiffany so bad, but damn, how can you choose her at this point?
You can't choose her. She's not on the show.
She's not on the show. Okay, Cirie number 1, number 2 Ozzy, number 3. No, it's number 2 Christian, number 3 Ozzy, number 4 Devens, number 5 D. And then my dark horse, number 6, Aubry.
Oh, you think Aubrey's going to take out Genevieve?
I think Aubry, her story arc from Co Wrong, I think the story is so cool if Aubrey's able to
cool if it happens, but up until this point, I'm like, what game are you playing, girl?
Yeah, and that's the thing. When she gets to the merge, maybe she will find more people to play with.
Right, because she will have Christian now, who gifted her that idol. She has a bit of coach.
And Cirie loves Aubry, so I could see. I would love to see, because it would just be so cool to see Aubry kind of win from the spot that she's in. It's so down, kind of we've been seeing so much of Aubry, right? For somebody who doesn't have any agency,
but
who
not that
hasn't
many
been going
confessionals. But
right, but we've been seeing so much about her. So I'm kind of like, yeah, if Aubry was to figure out a way to kind of bring these sides together and just cook like she did in Korong. I loved Aubrey's game in Korong.
of
You know,
course, we all
I would
did.
love to see it, and I think she could do this. Okay, not to say that she deserved the first time, but Aubry could have been a Survivor winner. You know, and so I think
she should have personally, but
you know, I'd probably
I liked her game better than Michelle Fitzgerald's. I'm sorry,
I liked it better than Michelle's for sure, right? And so to say that Aubry could win Survivor 50 and kind of put an end to this whole journey that she's been on, I think it would look really cool. So that's my top 6 out of 17. Chantele, do you have some front runners for you?
Well, I just want to point out what Dreadful Ruby here is saying, that it makes sense to highlight those that don't last very long for the fans who are excited to see them. So that would kind of knock out some of your top 6 there, which would be kind of scary. I mean, it could make sense that, like, okay, Christian doesn't win, so let's like use him as much as possible up until it goes. Yeah. Scary. I gotta still root for. I don't know my order. Well, Cirie is gonna be up there. Like, I want her to win. I want her to do well. So like, she just takes that spot. No matter what.
I would cry on the stream if Cirie wins. Oh my god, like that would be a full boo.
Oh, but yeah, you'd be like live
if she
we'd be clipping that.
It wouldn't even be her winning that would make me cry. It would be her getting past that fire making. Like if fire making is a thing and Cirie gets to the final 3 or the final 2 or whatever the case may be, the fall to my knees, right? That would happen.
Okay, so Jeff also thinks that Tiffany, Aubry, and Camilla might last a while because of their edit. I think that Camilla is doing an interesting job. I can see her maybe sneaking through to the end and being able to. I think if she gets to pitch to the jury, I think that she could win. And I don't think that she's threatening to a lot of people. And so I think that she could last a very long time. She makes strategic choices, and she's really good at puzzles. So I can see that she might even win some individual immunity if they're not just physical focus. So Camilla's up there. So, okay, I guess if we're doing order, is Cirie. I do agree Christian would be a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous winner.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'd throw Camilla in here next, though. I'm still a Genevieve fan. I could just be like doing some Canadians here to give some Maple Leaf love. I can put Ozzy up there. I think that his game has drastically improved, and like I'm enjoying seeing him making these shifts and trying to do something different and try to play differently, because the first 4 or 5, however many times he's played before, he never changed his game up when he came back. And I was always like, you got to do something different if you want a different result, Ozzy. And he hadn't. And this is the first time that he has. And so I'm wondering if this will actually be a time where he will actually be able to win. And then, you know what? I will throw Aubry in there because, like, I would like to see her do well. So, yeah, Cirie, Christian, Camilla, Genevieve, Ozzy, Aubry.
And then Aubry, yeah, you kind of have to, right? Aubrey's so rootable. I don't know how she does it, but I'm all in.
Pretty good. Well, thank you, Chappelle, for coming and hanging out with me today. What do we have going on later on, or soon, or now?
Literally, right after this, we are going to go talk about I Love New York again. It's the final 3 to the final 2, and we have to talk about it on my podcast, recapkickback.com, live on YouTube, youtube.com/@recapkickback. Come check us out.
Yay! So we're going to be doing that. Just pop over there right now, but make sure you subscribe to my channel and to Chappelle's channel. Like this video. Talk to us about your top 6 right now in the chat or in the comments below. I just want to see what everybody else is thinking. Do you think what do you think about these edits? Like the people like not getting screen time versus getting screen time. What are you thinking about this? Ooh, and Glenda is enjoying our episode recap. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! We will be talking to everybody soon, so we'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.